All right, ladies, let's talk about something that's surprisingly common but rarely discussed. This one definitely hits close to home for me, and I'm sure many of you can relate. It wasn't until a few years ago that I realized I was unknowingly dealing with this issue. It all started one Sunday after church when my sweet little granddaughter gave me a big hug, as she always does. She leaned in, wrapped her arms around me, and then, out of nowhere, she scrunched her little nose just slightly. At first I thought she was just being silly, but then she said it, the words no grandmother ever wants to hear. "Grandma, your neck smells kind of funny." I was shocked. I could feel my heart skip a beat. I quickly pulled away and said, "What's wrong, sweetie?" And with all the blunt honesty that only a child can deliver, she repeated, "Your neck smells funny." My mind was racing as I tried to figure out what she was talking about. The first thing that came to mind was, how could this be? I had just showered that morning, and I always try to keep myself fresh. But sure enough, I made a beeline to the bathroom mirror to investigate. What I found was a little embarrassing. The back of my neck and behind my ears felt sticky, and there was an odd, faint scent I'd never noticed before. At that moment, I realized something I hadn't before. It wasn't just about being clean on the outside. It was about the places we often neglect. I didn't want to ignore it, so I did what any modern, tech-savvy senior would do. I turned to Google for answers, and what I found was nothing short of eye-opening. Apparently, as we age, our skin begins to produce a fatty acid known as tuna, which loves to cling to certain areas of the body, particularly behind the ears and around the nape of the neck. These areas you see are filled with sebaceous glands, which are responsible for producing oil to keep our skin lubricated. As we get older, these glands can become more active, and when combined with sweat, hair product residue, and even just a lack of regular scrubbing, it leads to the buildup of oils and bacteria, and that's what causes that sour, musty smell we all dread. The skin behind your ears in particular is a hot spot for these oils. And let's be honest, how often do we really pay attention to these parts of our body? Most of us make sure we wash our face, apply toner, or use facial wipes. But how many of us give a second thought to cleaning the back of our necks and behind our ears? I certainly didn't. At least not until my granddaughter brought it to my attention. Since then, I've started taking a few extra minutes each day to show some love to these often forgotten spots. I now make sure to gently scrub behind my ears and the nape of my neck with a warm, damp cloth and some mild, unscented soap. I give those areas a little extra care, massaging in a circular motion to really clean the oil and grime away. And let me tell you, the difference has been remarkable. Not only do I feel fresher and cleaner, but I've also noticed something else. I don't get that awkward, scrunched nose from my granddaughter anymore. In fact, she started hugging me with even more affection. I've learned that something as simple as taking a few extra minutes to focus on these neglected spots can make a world of difference in how fresh and confident I feel. And now, whenever I look in the mirror, I remind myself, don't forget the back. It's become part of my daily routine, and I'm proud to say that these days, I don't have to worry about any unexpected smells sneaking up on me. So if you haven't been giving your neck and ears the attention they deserve, maybe it's time to start. A little love goes a long way. Underneath the breasts, all right, let's get real here. As we get older, gravity works its magic, and our chest area isn't as perky as it once was. And this creates a perfect little pocket where skin rubs against skin, leading to moisture buildup. And where there's moisture, you know what comes next: bacteria and that less than fresh odor. This is what I've learned. In the shower, I make sure to gently wash under my breasts with a soft cloth and unscented soap. After drying off thoroughly, I apply a bit of cornstarch or natural powder. Super humid weather, I even tuck a clean cotton pad under there for extra moisture absorbency. This keeps me feeling fresh and free of those unwelcome odors. And trust me, it's a game changer. Inside your shoes, okay? Confession time. When's the last time you smelled the inside of your shoes? Most of us love our go-to shoes, the ones we wear almost every day, but we forget that inside they can get pretty funky. Sweat from your feet combines with dead skin and forms a stinky situation that doesn't just go away. It soaks into the insoles and even the fabric or leather. What did I learn from my podiatrist? You can have the fanciest shoes, but if you don't take care of the insides, they'll start to smell like swamp water. Here's my remedy. Sprinkle baking soda inside your shoes overnight. It absorbs moisture and odors. I also replace my insoles regularly and wash them when needed. It's all about keeping those shoes fresh and odor-free, your closet. Now let's move on to another part of the house that many of us overlook, our closets. Ah, the closet. It's a special space where we store our most precious clothes, shoes, and accessories. It's our personal wardrobe haven, where everything is neatly hung and ready for whatever event or occasion we have in mind. But did you know that even if your clothes are clean when you put them away, they can still start to develop a musty smell after sitting in a warm, enclosed space for too long? That's right. Even though your clothes might look fresh and smell fine when you hang them up, the environment inside your closet can actually lead to the buildup of odors. It's the combination of moisture, dust, and even the oils from your skin that cause this. The more time your clothes spend in a closed closet, the more likely they are to pick up that musty scent, especially if your closet doesn't get much air circulation. And here's the kicker. When you take those clothes out to wear, the smell is transferred right onto your body, leaving you wondering why you can't shake that stale, musty odor. So, how do we tackle this? For starters, I make sure to air out my closet regularly. I open the doors to let in some fresh air and help reduce the humidity that can lead to that musty buildup. Fresh air can make a huge difference in keeping the space feeling fresh and pleasant. I also like to use moisture-absorbing products, like charcoal bags or silica gel sachets, placed in every corner of the closet. These little wonders help to absorb any excess moisture that could lead to mold, mildew, or musty odors. Charcoal is a great natural deodorizer that works to pull moisture out of the air and keeps the space dry and fresh. Another trick I use is wiping down the closet shelves every month. It helps remove dust and any other particles that could contribute to unwanted smells. And yes, don't be afraid to purge your closet of items that haven't seen the light of day in years. If a piece of clothing smells stale or you haven't worn it in ages, it's time to donate or toss it. A clutter-free closet is not only more organized, but it also helps prevent odors from building up in the first place. By keeping your closet clean, dry, and aired out, you'll avoid that musty smell and keep your clothes smelling fresh every time you reach for them, between your toes. And finally, let's talk about something that many of us tend to neglect when it comes to personal hygiene: our feet. Ladies, I know this isn't the most glamorous topic, but it's one that needs to be addressed. We've all heard it growing up. Make sure you wash your feet. But here's the thing. It's not just about washing your feet. It's also about drying them thoroughly, especially between your toes. If we skip this step, the moist, warm space between our toes can become a breeding ground for fungus, bacteria, and that all too familiar musty smell. It's embarrassing, it's uncomfortable, and it's so easy to avoid with just a little extra care. So, how do I tackle this? After showering, I make it a point to use a towel that's a little larger than the usual bath towel. This way, I can really focus on drying in between each toe. It's all about getting in there and making sure there's no lingering moisture. That could cause a problem later. Once my feet are completely dry, I use baby powder or talcum powder. This helps to keep things dry throughout the day and absorbs any moisture that could lead to that icky, musty scent. I focus especially on the areas between my toes where moisture tends to build up the most. This little extra step makes a world of difference. Not only does it keep my feet fresh, but it also prevents any uncomfortable itching or discomfort that can arise from fungal growth. Trust me, a few seconds spent drying your feet properly and applying powder is totally worth it. Your feet will feel fresher, your shoes will smell better, and you won't have to worry about that musty odor sneaking up on you during the day. It's an easy, effective way to keep your feet feeling clean, dry, and comfortable. And there you have it, ladies. These 6 often overlooked areas in your home and personal care routine might be contributing more to unwanted odors than you realize. But don't worry. With just a little effort, you can keep everything smelling fresh and feeling fabulous. From refreshing your favorite chair and recliner, to maintaining your closet and taking care of your feet, these small but effective changes will make a huge difference in how you feel and how your space smells. Take the time to refresh these areas, and you'll not only feel fresher but also more confident. No more wondering, what's that smell? Because now you've got it all covered. You'll walk into a home that feels as fresh as it looks and glide through the day with an added sense of comfort and cleanliness. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Stay classy, stay fresh, and most importantly, stay fabulous, ladies. Keep shining and enjoy the little things that make a big impact.